Good morning. So November 11th, and I am 2 months past my PE. I actually went into the hospital on September 11th. Went to the ER emergency department on the 10th, but was actually admitted to ICU on the 11th. So I'm 2 months out from the PE event that I had, multiple PEs. If you haven't watched my first video on this, watch my first video. Same disclaimers apply to this one that apply to the other one. I'm not by no means a professional YouTuber, so don't expect any professional production here. And I'm not a clinician, so I don't have a clinical background to kind of answer big clinical questions. So if you're having any concerns or problems, you get a doctor to check you out. It's more or less to let you know how I'm doing, and maybe you can compare how you may be feeling after a PE to how I'm feeling, and let you know you're not alone on some things. There are a couple of things that have been frustrating in my recovery from the PE, and one is that my oxygen saturation can run at 98% to 98%, 99%. I can have great oxygen saturation and still feel like I'm real fatigued, really tired. I've asked the doctor about that. She put me into physical therapy. Physical therapists have been working to build up my endurance and my stamina to do different things. A lot of that has involved stretching and trying to improve blood flow to major muscle groups in my legs. If you watch my first video, I talk about the fatigue being mainly centered in my legs and lower body, and that's kind of what they've focused on with that. So I've been doing some stretches, some little bit of cardiovascular work. I've improved. At first, for the first month or so after the PE, if we went to the grocery store or we went to Walmart or wherever, I would have to get on a little scooter and ride because I just didn't have the wind in me to do that. But I've improved to the point where I can walk now. I can walk around the store. I still get tired. Being an old guy like I am, I typically will wake up about 5 in the morning, drink my coffee, and that starts my day. Usually by 1:30 I'm gassed and I'm just done, and I need to kind of lay around. Supposed to return to work in a week now, and I do hope that I'm able to do that better than I have been functioning here at home. So that's that. Throat tightness and pressure. Tightness and pressure in the throat. It's awful. I don't know where it's coming from, but when it does, it's like somebody has their hand literally inside of my throat, pulling it shut. It's an awful feeling. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel like you're choking. I do, and there's no explanation for it. So, or at least no explanation has been given to me. But that will come on at 5 minutes. I'll be like that, and then it'll go away. My oxygen saturation levels are normal, 98, 99%. Heart rate, which was high, I was tachycardic, has resolved somewhat. It's gotten where I'm in a more of a normal range now. I suspect that it's going to get a lot better once my endurance comes back, because I'm really kind of pushing myself to function now and do normal things. So I am improving. You can get better from a PE. So that's the physical end of things. The next part of what I want to talk about are the emotional, and I guess you'd say the spiritual ends of the PE. And don't turn this off. I'm not going to get religious or anything like that with you. Have patience with the people around you. I'm going to say that because I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody come up to me and point their finger at me and say, "You're doing better," and I would get angry because I didn't feel better. And people still come up to me and point their finger at me and say, "Well, you look a lot better." And that may be true, but I don't necessarily feel better. It's very frustrating when you feel really crummy and you've got people bouncing up and down saying you're doing great. And just, no, you don't want to hear that. but understand that they mean well. Understand that they desperately want you better because you really do look bad when you have PE. Um, just give them some patience. That's the first thing. The second thing is try not to think about why this happened to you. Um, I wasn't pregnant. I wasn't bedridden. I wasn't any of the things that I've read about that said I should have had what I had. I had it. It nearly killed me. I can take away from this that I'm very fortunate to have survived it. And I am. I'm very fortunate to survive it. I can see it as a motivation to do things differently in my life. And trust me, when you're in an ICU room and it's at night and everybody's gone home and all you hear are the machines, you know, all you got to do is think. You think. You think about where you went in your life and where you went wrong, where you went down, and that's not pleasant. But don't beat yourself up too bad. Be philosophical and circumspect at some points and think about things, but don't beat yourself up too bad because you got to worry about tomorrow. Or not really worry about it, you got to deal with tomorrow. And probably the last thing I'm going to say is this. Be realistic in your expectations of recovery. People keep telling me, you're going to get back, you're going to be better than you were before. And I'm like, oh, hold on a second there, Sparky. I don't know if that's the case. Well, you'll be just as good as you were before. I don't know. I don't think so. I told one of my friends, he was trying to cheer me up and tell me that I was going to get back to being 100% soon. And I simply told him, I said, hey, if I get back to 100%, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain if I get back to being a 20-year-old stallion again. I'm not going to complain. But if I don't, if I only get back to 80% of what I was, if I only get back to 75% of what I was, I still beat something that kills an awful lot of people. That's important. So keep your spirits up. Be patient with the people around you. Understand that you're going to have some symptoms that medicine doesn't really completely understand now. Reach out to other people that have had PEs. Enjoy every day. Enjoy life. And if you got any questions or comments, likes, threats, proposals, or haikus, you can put them in the comments section. Thank you.